Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janaballava Girivaradhari Gopi Janaballava Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janaballava Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivukitara Sarasri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivukitara Sarasri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chaksorum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Tina Bandhu Jagatpate Govesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paritanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So, today is text 15 of chapter 13, chapter entitled Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. So, please repeat. Sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc caiva nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ Okay, go ahead.
Sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ
sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc nirguṇam guṇa-bhoktṛ Okay, thank you very much. So, word for word, please repeat. Sarva, of all, indriya, senses, guṇa, of the qualities, ābhāsam, the original source, sarva, all, indriya, senses,
sarvendriya-vivarjitam,
being without,
being without,
asaktam,
asaktam,
without attachment,
without attachment,
sarva-bhṛt,
sarva-bhṛt,
the maintainer of everyone,
maintainer of everyone,
cha, also, caiva, certainly, nirguṇaṁ,
nirguṇam,
without material qualities,
without material quality,
guṇa-bhoktṛ,
guṇa-bhoktṛ,
the master of the gunas,
master of gunas,
cha, also. So, translation Srila Prabhupada. The Supersoul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes of material nature. Please repeat. The Supersoul
the Supersoul
is the original source
is the original source
of all senses,
of all senses,
yet he is without
yet
senses.
he is without senses,
He is unattached,
he is unattached,
although he is the maintainer
although he is the maintainer
of all living beings.
of all living beings.
He transcends the modes of nature,
He transcends the modes of nature,
and at the same time,
at the same time,
he is the master
he is the master
of all the modes of material nature.
of all the mode of material nature.
Okay, thank you. Purport. The Supreme Lord, although the source of all the senses of the living entities, doesn't have material senses like they have. Actually, the individual souls have spiritual senses, but in conditioned life they are covered with the material elements, and therefore the sense activities are exhibited through matter. The Supreme Lord's senses are not so covered. His senses are transcendental and are therefore called nirguṇam. Guna means the modes of the material modes, but his senses are without material covering. It should be understood that his senses are not exactly like ours. Although he is the source of all our sensory activities, he has transcendental senses which are uncontaminated. This is very nicely explained in the Svateshvara Upanishad 3.19. In the verse, Apani Pardo Jivano Grihita, the Supreme Personality has no hands which are materially contaminated, but he has his hands and accepts whatever sacrifice is offered to him. That is the distinction between the conditioned soul and the Supersoul. He has no material eyes, but he has eyes, otherwise how could he see? He sees everything past, present, and future. He lives within the heart of the living being, and he knows what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, and what is awaiting us in the future. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad-Gita. He knows everything, but no one knows him. It is said that the Supreme Lord has no legs like us, but he can travel throughout space because he has spiritual legs. In other words, the Lord is not impersonal. He has his eyes, legs, hands, and everything else. And because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also have these things. But his hands, legs, eyes, and senses are not contaminated by material nature. Bhagavad-Gita also confirms that when the Lord appears, he appears as he is, his internal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of the material energy. In the Vedic literature we find that his whole embodiment is spiritual. He has his eternal form called Satchidananda Vigraha. He is full of opulence. He is the proprietor of all wealth and the owner of all energy. He is the most intelligent, is full of knowledge. These are some of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the maintainer of all living entities and the witness of all activities. As far as we can understand from Vedic literature, the Supreme Lord is always transcendental. Although we do not see his head, face, hands, and legs, he has them. And when we are elevated to the transcendental situation, we can see the Lord's form. Due to materially contaminated senses, we cannot see his form. Therefore, the impersonalists who are still materially affected cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they're very clear. Mukam karochi vachalam pangam laite grim yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Guru didatarinam sarvendriya-guṇābhāsaṁ sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarva-bhṛc caiva nirguṇaṁ. The Supersoul is the original source of all senses. Yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time he is the master of all the modes of material nature. Yes, so if you remember the beginning we discussed last week, there were 6 questions asked by Arjuna. What is Purusha? What is Prakriti? What is Kshetra? That Kshetra means the body and the field of activities. Who is the knower of the field of activities? That is the living entity, the spirit soul, and also Supersoul. And what is knowledge? And what is the goal of knowledge? So the goal of knowledge is to understand the Supreme Lord, and knowledge is that which reveals the Supreme Lord. And that is essential at the beginning of bhakti, to have the right siddhanta. So at the beginning we are hearing from the acharyas, but in the qualified state, turn up the volume please. Turn it up. Volume. I don't want this too close to me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Little more, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Okay, good. Is that fine? Yeah. So, the Supersoul, I just looked up this verse. There's one famous verse, this, in the Bhagavad-Gita 1:2:11. Vadanti tatva vidas tatvam yajnanam aviyam. Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabjate. Learned transcendentalists know the absolute truth, who know the absolute truth, call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. So, like one of those 6 questions was, what is Purusha? So this is the 3 aspects of Purusha. The Brahman effulgence, sometimes called the Brahmajyoti, his expansion, Paramatma, Supersoul, within the material energy governing everything, and then ultimately Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Bhaga, means opulence. So Krishna has 6 opulences: beauty, strength, renunciation, opulence, fame, and renunciation. So these 6 opulences are the apex of his personality. So he resides in a transcendental abode, whereas at the present moment, at least myself, we're within the material energy. So, just like Prabhupada explained in the purport there, the Supreme Lord is a person, Bhagavan, he's a personality. Those 6 bhagas are related figuratively to his body. His beauty is in his face. His left arm is renunciation. His right arm is Shakti, power. So his power is balanced by his renunciation, as it's said here. He's detached. And then his opulence is the torso. And then his left leg is fame. The most famous person is God, right? Everyone knows, heard something about God. And his right leg is knowledge. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent, so he's omniscient. So his fame and his knowledge are together. They're his support, if you like. So Prabhupada is explaining that. He knows everything, but he knows it from a spiritual position. There's also one other verse, Oh, and we should understand what non-dual is too. They are categorized as three: Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman, the effulgence of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes it's called the impersonal effulgence, but actually it's his personal effulgence. So it's a matter of terminology. Supreme Lord is effulgent by nature. But he's not effulgent like these lights, which hurt the eyes, LED and all the rest. But he is spiritually effulgent. But those three aspects are non-different. Just like the sun. The sun has three aspects: heat, light, and form, right? But they are aspects of the same sun. So the Supreme Person has different aspects according to his Leela, and they're variegated. So he has a personal aspect, that is his highest aspect, Bhagavan. Paramatma is his expansion into the material world to govern the material energy. He is enjoying with his devotees in Goloka, in Haridam as Narayan and Lakshmi, and he deputes Paramatma to govern the material energy and the laws of karma, the living entities, and so on and so forth. Just like the Prime Minister of a country. He may, like Narendra Modi ji, he's the Prime Minister, but he deputes people. You're in charge of finance, you're in charge of this and that. And he is the overall. So this is a material example. But the Supreme Lord, when it says he expands, it doesn't mean to say like you blow more air into a balloon. At the beginning, when I first started reading, I heard the expansion of the Supreme Lord, and that, what does that mean? The balloon is... No, he's expanding by making a different form, and also empowering different living entities to supervise different aspects, just like Narendra ji is governing India, and but through his representatives, and they are empowered, materially speaking. So this is very important, because especially in Kali Yuga, people don't have any knowledge of the personalities behind the phenomena. But we can understand that also. For example, we have laws on the road, we have laws, finance laws, we have immigration laws, we have so many laws. But there is a personality running those things, right? So you're going to the hospital, the policeman says, why you're going too fast? Oh, my mother's sick. Okay, go. So the material creation and also spiritual, there are different personalities controlling different aspects. It's not always the Supreme Lord, but they are empowered by that Supreme Controller. So you have Lord Shiva, you have Durga, you have Kali, you have Parvati, you have all this. And they are Prakriti. Purusha, we explained in a complicated way last week, he expands as through Baladev. But the Shakti Tattva expands through Srimati Radharani, Durga, and empowers Saraswati, the wife of Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, but she has another aspect to her personality. She's Durga. Like Parvati means the material energy when it's beautiful, like they have the Parvati Valley up above Rishikesh. So that's beautiful and flowers. But then Durga, she's also strict. Durga, difficult to go out of the material energy. But also in the spiritual world, Radharani is sometimes called Durga, because you can't come out of the spiritual energy, because she's controlling through Yogamaya. So all these different personalities we see in the material world, but the modern idea, everything is just by chance. And the material laws are, somehow they have arisen, and they are carrying on like a chemical equation. But no, the whole universe is supervised by different personalities, and they are all getting, this material world, they're getting empowered by resting upon the Supersoul. So So this is good meditation, because this is the correct way to see the material energy. We may have been educated to think, there is the periodic table, and there's so many atoms and molecules and neutrons, and that's how they're all reacting. But it's all kind of going on automatically. But everything is going on under supervision in India. Say you took away the government of India, you would have chaos, right? You'd have complete entropy. Well, he says it's chaotic anyway. No, people generally drive on the left side. Maybe, anyway. But the whole idea is there is some kind of structure, and that is imposed by personalities. So the spiritual energy, material and spiritual energy, just like Vishaka, Lalita, Sudevi, they have different aspects of their service. Parvati is the beautiful aspect. She can be Kali, goddess of war. She can have that aspect of her personality. And then she Rudra and the Rudranis, and there are different expansions of Rudra, Lord Shiva. So this is the correct way to understand. It's said that there's 33 million devas. But as we've said before, how many civil servants are there in India? At least 1 million or 2. How many civil servants all over? There's about 200 countries in the world. How many civil servants are running the whole of all the countries on Earth planet? 33 million? That may be an underestimate. So, but there's 33 million devatas, big, small, different departments, this and that. So they are the governors of the laws that we will perceive, perhaps through our test tubes and our microscopes and so on and so forth, we're analyzing. But this verse here is explaining how the Supreme Lord, he's governing the material energy, but he is not affected by it. He's talking about the Supersoul. Because if you remember, the last 2 questions were, what is the object of knowledge? And what is knowledge? So knowledge is to understand the Supreme Lord. And we can learn about the Supreme Lord by understanding Supersoul in this material world, because that's what we're experiencing. If you remember, about a year ago, we were explaining that in the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna tells Uddhava, he says, look, if you want to realize me, it's the best way is to realize me in the heart of all living entities. And if you realize me in the heart of all living entities, then you will lose bhavarog, matsarya. In this material world we think, oh, I don't like him. I'm from Orissa, he's from Bengal. I don't like him, he's French. Well, he's not actually. So we are judging on the material platform and according to our conditioning. But if we see everyone as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, then we lose envy, and we start to see the truth. And that is the disease of the material world, that we see through contaminated senses. What does that mean? What that means is we are a spirit soul, and we are seeing this universe, this material world, through this body. That means to say, I'm a spirit soul within this body. It's in the region of the heart. Consciousness spreads through the medium of the blood. If you cut the blood off to a part, then it becomes numb. Consciousness is carried in the blood. That is Krishna's arrangement. So, anyway, but I am seeing not through my spiritual senses. I am my soul, which has the ability to see, just like Prabhupada said in the purport, the Supreme Lord, he is without senses, but he's without material senses. You understand? But we are seeing, the soul is seeing through this bodily arrangement. We are seeing through the eyes. We're hearing through this material arrangement of the ears. We're tasting, the soul can taste, but the soul is tasting through the tongue in this way. So this is a contamination. If you go on the internet, it's very interesting. People have near-death experiences. And in these near-death experiences, they leave the gross body and they feel, oh, I can hear and I can think. Their sensual perception changes. Of course, they always come back, or else they couldn't be telling the stories. But the thing is, they come back to the body and they think, oh, I was put back in the body and I was back in the hospital bed and it was so heavy and this and that, and it took me 6 months to recover from the operation or something. So this material body that we're so enamored with is actually not just contaminated, but suppressing our ability. And there is that verse, Rupa Goswami, Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Graham Indriya. Jivado Svaya. That the spiritual platform, which is the goal of knowledge. What is the beginning of Vedanta Sutra? Tato Brahmajignas. So this material body, it suppresses the senses. And we have 5 senses, right? Hearing, touch, sight, taste, and smell. And we have 5, they depend on the buddhi, this is within the subtle form. And we have 5 working senses. We have this working sense of talk, speaking. So that's associated with air. Ether. And then we have the working senses of the arms, they move in the air. And then we have the working sense of the fire of digestion, so that's based on fire. Then we have the genital based on water or liquids. And then the legs, the other 5th sense, working sense, stands upon the earth. So it's all kind of interrelated. So they're the 5 working senses. Working senses depend on prana. If the body is not generating prana with the presence of the soul and good diet and contemplation, then the working senses are getting weaker. So there are the 5 major elements. I think this will come. Krishna explains, it's all explained in Vedanta Sutra. But there's the 5 gross elements, and then there's the 5 sense objects. So the 5 gross elements are ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And the 5 senses are, 5 sense objects are sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. So you have 20. But then above that, this will, I think it's later on, above that you have the manas. And the manas is like this. This contains water. Very tasty. So the water is like consciousness. We are a spirit soul within this material body, and we have a subtle body, and the basic structure of the subtle body is the manas. It's the container of consciousness. So all those working senses and knowledge acquiring senses, they go into the mind. So the mind is considered the 11th sense. But the mind is governed by the buddhi. And that's what, if you consider, for example, if I tell you, think of a red apple. So what have you done? You've used your buddhi in conjunction with your mind, your consciousness, to construct that within the... If I say, think of a pineapple, then you think, your buddhi has controlled the mind and consciousness, which are together, interlinked, and constructed that. But the problem is that the buddhi is under the control of ahankara, false ego. That means we are identifying with the material body. I am the body. And things related to the body are mine. This is my country, my wife, my motor car, my crash helmet, whatever. These things related to me are mine. And there are subtle effects of the Maya Shakti too, also conditioning us. One is called prasatmika buddhi, and the other is avaranatmika buddhi. Prasatmika buddhi means by interacting with the material energy, we're thrown into some conception. I'm this body. I'm from this country. This is my best course of action. And then avaranatmika buddhi, another subtle effect upon the consciousness, pitched from the subtle regions of the material energy, is that we consider that to be correct. So we not only get a false idea, a material conception, but we think it's correct. So therefore, the Sunnis don't like the Sufis, the Shiites. The Shiites think, no, we're right, you're wrong. And the Christians think, we're right and you Jews are wrong. You have the wrong idea of Jesus. So, and not only that, I like Tottenham Hotspur and you like Arsenal. Tottenham Hotspur is a better team. So I believe that, even though they might be losing every weekend. So, but we identify what the conclusions that we come to, you see. And then later on Krishna will explain that other elements in this conditioning cover is iccha dvesha. We're attracted to something, I want that. Iccha, I desire. Dvesha, I don't want that. And then we interpret things as happiness and distress. So they're not material elements because they are partaking within the consciousness. But the consciousness is contaminated, and the root of the contamination is ahankara. The root of contamination is to believe I'm this body and this mind and the opinions of this mind and this and that. Therefore, siddhanta. Therefore, Krishna explains, yes, look. Pramanas tada charas tada bhyasi nirantaram bodayan atma atmanam bhaktim apyutamam lavet. So he tells Lord Brahma, yes, he says, Pramana, these things, I'll get the translation. So it's very nice. Yes, okay. Pramanastu madacharās tadabhyasinarantaram. And it's particularly, yes, the highest devotion is attained by slow degrees by the method of. You want to be the highest devotion? Here's the method told by Krishna to Lord Brahma, Edava Sampradaya. Slow degrees, by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization with the help of three things. Scriptural evidence, that's pramana, pramanas. Theistic conduct, four regulative principles, being nice to, being a sadhu. And perseverance in practice, nirantaram, perseverance. So three things. Pramana, you should learn siddhanta. That will dispel the root of your covering, which is covering your consciousness with this material body with all these different things. Siddhanta bulyaji bhogaman chagore. Right? That's at the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita. There it said, Krishna says, or Krishna Das Kaviraj, he says, devotee should not think, oh, why am I talking Siddhanta all the time with this person? I want to think about the Leela. No, first Siddhanta, because it will strengthen your mind, and once you've absorbed Siddhanta, ahankara goes. What is the first part of Siddhanta Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita? You are not the body. Oh, that's the center of ahankara. Aham mameti, I'm the body. So the first point Arjuna is told, you're not the body, Arjuna. And then all these family members and so on and so forth, they're not really your relatives. This is a real thing, but it's temporary. The material energy is real, but it's temporary. And what does Queen Kunti say at the beginning of the Bhagavatam? She says, Gonge bodam udanvati. Oh Krishna, you are beautiful with the lotus petaled eyes, lotus, everything. Please cut off my attachment to my children and my family. But they're the Pandavas. Please cut off my idea that they're my children. They belong to you. Now, temporarily, we're manifesting in this way, but it is illusory. I want my devotion, Ganga Vodam, to flow to you like the Ganga overflows any impediments. So material attachments, they are there. Aham mameti. Arjuna was thinking, I don't want to kill Duryodhana, such a sweet child. Dhritarashtra and all these, and my cousin brothers, I don't want to do that. They're my relatives. Arjuna, Krishna says, no, look, first point is they're not your relatives, you're a spirit soul, but it's my order, that's the second point. So once ahankara is gone, then, I'm not inspired to think I'm the body and maintaining all those things related to the body. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to serve the Supreme Lord. Gopi Bhata Kamalayo Dasa Dasana Das. And that is the real purification. Because, yes, through knowledge, it's the negative thing. I kick out the Maya Shakti. But then I must get a proper engagement. I'm no longer engaged by attachment to my family and friends and Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. Now I want what? Gopi, what is the... Dhanam. Yes, I want to be engaged in your service. You're my real, what does Krishna says? I am the father of all living entities. Aham bija pida. So, sarva-yonis ikunteya. All living entities are expanded from me. Not like a balloon, but like they're all living entities that have expanded from Krishna. We're all his direct expansions. That's something amazing to think. We read about, Kurma's expansion, Lord Chaitanya, this. But you're sitting next to expansions of Krishna every day. You yourself are an expansion of Krishna. So, Atakshri Krishna Namadi, you can't understand this, or first step is to get the pramana, then theistic conduct. That means engaging in sarva-bhṛc. So why are people in the spiritual world and why are they in the material world? And the Brahman is in the middle, so to speak, figuratively. Why? In the material world, they're all serving themselves and their extended self, their family members, under illusion. And they're all thinking, this is the correct way to live my life, to support Tottenham Hotspur and not Arsenal, or whatever your team is. So this is the way I should live. But in the spiritual world, so they're all serving the illusion. The illusion is in flux. Once I was 5-year-old and I was learning to ride a bicycle, and then now I'm driving a truck or something. So this is the illusory transformation in the material world. But in the spiritual world, but it's all based on service to myself. But in the spiritual world, I want to serve the object of devotion. Gopi Pata Kamalayo Dasa Das Anadas. What is that line again? Nadanam. Last line? Yes. Birth after birth, I want to serve Krishna. So the devotee, he situates himself in the parivar of Lord Chaitanya. Our subsection of Lord Chaitanya's Sangha, we're all in the Prabhupada parivar. We're all his Shiksha disciples. We're all studying Prabhupada's books. And we're all directly, this is one thing I wanted to say at the appearance day of Prabhupada. Some people are Diksha and Shiksha disciples of Prabhupada. But everyone is the Shiksha disciple. Arjuna is the disciple of Krishna, but he's the Shiksha disciple. Shiksha, throughout the Shastra, is said to be more important. So Shiksha, everyone should feel, I'm the Shiksha disciple of Srila Prabhupada, directly. They should feel I'm part of his parivar. And you can also be, because you can have many Shiksha gurus, you can be the Shiksha disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the Sad Goswamis. I'm there, they're my Shiksha gurus. I'm directly their disciples. You shouldn't think, oh, he's a Prabhupada disciple, Diksha, he's closer to Prabhupada than me. No, you follow the Shiksha better than him, you're closer to Prabhupada. Of course, we shouldn't be anxious to analyze who's following the best. We shouldn't be too mental about where everyone is at. But we should understand I'm directly Prabhupada's disciple. I'm directly Bhaktisiddhanta's disciple when I read his wonderful essays, Bhakti Vinod. So that is pramana. Evidence, pramana, and prameya means that which is to be proved. That pramana is the proof of that which is to be proved. That's mula tattva. So this is very important. Pramana first, then sadacharais. And then we can develop. What is sadacharais? We should become the disciples, the servant of the servant. You see? And by serving the order of the bona fide guru. If I follow regulative principles, I'm serving the orders of Prabhupada, because that's what he told me. If I chant 16 rounds every day, I'm serving his order. So service to the order, but you can do that also. If you may not have had Diksha from Prabhupada, but if you think Prabhupada likes 16 rounds a day, so I'll do that, and I'm serving his order, my Shiksha Guru. So I'm serving. And that is sadacharais. But also, we shouldn't just think four regulative principles, but there's also, we should amanina, marina, trinadapi, sadacharas. We should be tolerant and humble, forgiving, see the good in people, see them as having Krishna in the heart. And then perseverance in practice. But that means sometimes we may be tired, some illness or this and that, but we should persevere. And then by slow degrees. What is the next verse? The next verse is, these preliminary practices, yashya shreyas karam nasti, ya nivritim apnuya sadyati mameva bhaktim sadhavya. These three practices, constant endeavor, so on, these preliminary practices of devotion, sadhana bhakti, are conducive to the realization of loving devotion, than whom there is no superior well-being, and who goes hand in hand with the attainment of the exclusive state of supreme bliss, and which can thus lead to myself. So that's the meaning of Atakshri Krishna Nam. We're contaminated in this body. Supersoul is leading it. But as soon as Supersoul thinks, oh, he wants to go, he wants spiritual knowledge, he wants spiritual realization. So as soon as the acharyas see this, then he speaks to us. He speaks to us. He guides us. Takes us under shelter. And then and how to start? Jivado, right? Starts with the tongue. Tongue is often said the most strong of the senses. If you control the tongue, what is that? Vacha vega, manasa garoda vega, jiva vedam. Vegam. Vegam means the urges. You get urges of the body, but you have to restrain them. How? By sadhana and by sadhacharas. Only eat Krishna Prasad. If it's not Krishna Prasad, don't eat it, because it will infect you again, contamination. Only eat Krishna Prasad, only take what you need for health and good energy, and then chant Jivado. I was reading today in the Chaitanya Bhagavat about Haridas Thakur, chanting 3 lakhs a day. And he was explaining loud chanting is the best because other living entities hear. So this is the acharyas. They have this feeling. And we start to enter the spiritual world as soon as we serve the order of those personalities who are in the spiritual world. Just like this whole section, it was all about, he's the master of the senses, but he's transcendental. Right? Today's verse. He's the original source of the senses, but he's without material senses, but he's perceiving from that platform. He's the maintainer, and he transcends the material energy, but he's the master of the material energy. So as soon as we serve the order of spiritual personalities, from the Supreme Lord, all the people, the acharyas, all the great acharyas, if we serve those, then we are developing seva-bhāv. And that is the difference between material life and spiritual life. Here we're all thinking what's best for me and all my relatives, extended people. But in the spiritual world, we want to serve. Therefore Krishna, I think it's earlier, 4th chapter, Krishna says, Japa yajnanam. He says, the greatest yajna is japa. Right? He gives a whole list of things you can do. So japa, 16 rounds is nothing. Right? And, in Janmashtami, I won't say how many I chanted. Actually, 1 lakh is 58. It's actually 57.87. But you can easily chant more than that. Just think Haridas Thakur. So in Janmashtami, Ekadashi, we should increase our chanting. We can easily go to 32 a day, if we think about it. And if we control our senses, Jivado swayameva spuryada. That means once we have this development of service attitude through executing the order of Guru, then spuryada, Chaita Guru, Supersoul is Chaita Guru. We all have the same Guru ultimately. What is a Guru? A Guru is somebody that has an Angamanjari Shakti, who has Guru Shakti. So anyone that has got Guru Shakti by the grace of Baladev, he is Guru. And that's easy to judge who is Guru. Every Vaishnava is Guru to the extent that they have realized Krishna. So, we develop service and then Spuryada. Now this is an important point. You see, there's Kamima monks, number 5 of the Darshans by Janmani. But then upasana is Veda-Vyasa's. So Kama-Mimamsa says, I will do my karmic ritual and I will get the result. Vishnu has to give me the result. Right? I did it. I did it right. I paid the Brahmin. I did this and that, and I say it was the right time. He chanted the mantras. So I've got to get the result. So he's saying that me is controlling Vishnu. That's also, maybe I shouldn't bring it up, but I will. That's where the Rigvik people are stupid. They go to Prabhupada and they say, I've got 50 people here for you to initiate, Prabhupada. Do it. Right, isn't it? Prabhupada's a picture. You've got to initiate them because I say so. That's the maha-aparad of the Rigviks. They're not going to Prabhupada like this. They're saying, I'm in charge of who you initiate. This is maha-aparad. Anyway, but we go to Krishna waiting for Spuryada. Now, this is wonderful because Krishna is unlimited. We're doing a little japa, a little service, a little study, learning a few shlokas, filling the belly. And we think, oh, I'm so powerful with my bhakti. But Spuryada means the Supreme Lord becomes revealed out of His mercy. You understand? We're doing a little service, little chanting, learn a few slokas, chanting a little bit. But Spuryada means spurti. Spurti means spontaneous manifestation within the consciousness. And that gives us rag, attraction, because, and that's very easily attained because of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. We have the rag, and then that takes a certain mood, and we chant with that rag, and then prema comes. Our relationship, Swarup Siddhi comes. Because there's two types of bhaktas, sadhaka and siddha. So sadhana, Vaidhi Bhakti, within that rag, Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti. So that is there for us. That is there. But we have to have a little understanding. But Spuryada means the Supreme manifest. And every devotee, right, you're all here, you all know that, right? Wow, I realized something today, right? I was reading the Bhagavad-Gita and I never understood that. And it came to me. That is spurti. You understand? And that is the blessing of Krishna. That is not Kama-Mimamsa. That is the blessing of the unlimited Lord revealing Himself through seva-bhāv. Therefore it said, Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad jaji. You must offer everything to Krishna, your bhakti, in seva-bhāv. And then with humility, mam namaskaru, not only to Krishna, but all the expansions of Krishna. And that means all living entity. You must give respect. That is Vaishnava. Kanishta doesn't know how to respect. But the Madhyamadikari knows, Krishna's in the heart of everyone. So I'm going to, that's sadacharais, saintly behavior. And I'm going to keep at it. And Krishna will reveal Himself. We shouldn't think it's just like though there's that movie, Prahlad Maharaj. Oh, that's just for Dhruva Maharaj. That's just for this, that's for Narada Muni. It's for you too. Spuryada is for you. It doesn't matter, man, woman, old, young, whatever. Krishna can reveal Himself. That's the only principle that is active. And so we perform bhakti with lolam. We do all this and we say, Krishna, if it so pleases you, reveal yourself to me. develop my bhakti so I can serve you better. So my spiritual master will be glorified by my advancement. This is lolam. That's the process of bhakti. And then you can realize the transcendence. Vayameva spuryada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So any question before Sachiputra comes back? You have a question? Active mind.
I wanted to know from this.
Say again?
I wanted to know about this. You said if somebody is following the regulative principle of Prabhupada, if somebody is chanting 16 rounds or...
Yeah, we're in the parivar of Prabhupada. That was my realization at Prabhupada's appearance day. That everyone should feel close to Prabhupada. It's not that just people who have diksha from Prabhupada are close. Everyone should feel directly connected. That's Shiksha Guru.
But if somebody is not initiated by Guru, or if like he is not initiated, but he is following the principle of this Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, everything is doing correctly, then will he go back to Godhead?
Yes. Because, you see, that's another thing. People say, oh, you've got to get this, you've got this. But the ultimate principle is what?
Following the principle.
The ultimate principle is what Krishna decides. Try to understand this point. Yes, there are suggestions, this diksha, this mantra diksha, deity worship. But the only real principle is, in the whole of creation, is the decision of Krishna. Therefore, you will find in the Shastra that formal initiation into Bhagavat-marg is not required. But it's beneficial because it helps the devotee to fix his mind. Oh, I have... Bhagavat-marg means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. This is Bhagavat-marg. And then Archan Marg or Pancharatriki Marg is Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So for that you should have formal initiation, mantra initiation. That's mantra. But Bhagavat Marg is not dependent on formal initiation. You will find this in the Shastra. But if you find a suitable Diksha Guru for your Maha Mantra, you see there are 5, initiation, let me tell you quickly, but it's in Pancharatriki. There are Pancha Samskara. Samskara means impressions. So Diksha is an impression. By formalizing the guru-disciple relationship, it makes an impression. So there are 5 elements to Diksha, actually. This is Pancha Samskar. First one is tapa. The guru will say, you must sadacharash, you must stop sinful activity and you must eat just Krishna Prasad. Second one is pondram, or sometimes called tilak. That means, okay, now you are living purely, I'm giving you tilak. Third one is nam, and this means the guru will give, oh, you're Krishna Das, you're Govinda Das, and I'll give you the Maha Mantra. Right? So that's 3. So that is Bhagavat Marg. You can read it. I'm just having that book reprinted up in Delhi. I'm double checking everything. Then the number 4 of Pancha Samskar is mantra initiation. Mantra initiation means the Gayatri, so-called Gayatri mantras. They are necessary to engage in deity worship, right? That's a formal thing. The guru should teach the disciple. And deity worship has 5 divisions, Pancharatriki system, Abhimanyaya, that means purity. The disciple should know how to be pure, clean, before doing the deity worship. Number 2 is upacharya. He should collect all the worshipful items. Number 3 is yoga. That means before starting, now he's collected all the articles, before he should sit down and think, aham brahmasmi. I am, what is that word? Jivara svarupoy, nijara Krishna. So he should fit himself in yoga. It's also called Bhuta Shuddhi. So that's number 3. And then number 4 is the actual puja. And then Pancharitriki, these are also called Panch Anga Bhakti. Number 5 is Swadhyaya. And that means after the puja, number 5, is the disciples, the performer of deity worship, his particular meditation based on his awakening swarup. So that is Pancharatriki. And then there is, anyway, but that subdivision of mantra and archana. Mantra. Just like Madhavendra Puri, they found the Gopal deity in Govardhan, and then he gave Pancharatriki Vidi, he gave mantra to the local Brahmins by which they could actually worship Gopal. That deity went to the Balabas. Yeah. Anyway, that's 4. And then number 5 is Yagi. The Guru, the 5th of the Pancha Samskars, the Guru should teach the disciple how to form everything as yagya. You're doing every single thing in your life is an offering. Just like Krishna says, man mana mad bhakto mad yaji. And then do it namnaskaru. So there, Pancha Samskar, 5 impressions. Sometimes people think, oh, I got Diksha yesterday. But wait a minute, that's one aspect. That's Nam. Before that, Tapa. Then Tilak. Then Nam. Then Mantra. Mantras, so-called second initiation. It's actually called Mantra initiation. And then number 5 is Yagi. The Guru should teach. And we see the Sad Goswamis, they were doing deity worship. Right? They didn't think, oh, I'm going to be Haridas Thakur. No, they showed example. They wanted to worship the deity. So, 6 Goswamis are showing everything. So, but the ultimate principle, and this is the important point, Krishna is independent.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mahamantra can do anything.
Yes, but the devotee attracts the Supreme Lord by his lolam. The Supreme Lord is merciful by nature. Do you see the point? So you have to approach the Supreme Lord. You have to chant Brahmasami Chintamani Prakarasat. What does Krishna say in the Gita earlier? Bhajatam Priti Purvagam. Don't do things mechanically. Chant with Priti Purvagam. Oh Krishna, you are Bhagavan. You are my Father. I am your expansion. You're dear to me. Can I become dear to you? Like this? You say, and then Krishna, okay. So actually Krishna is if you want to know Ananga Manjari Samputika, actually Adi Guru is Baladev. His Shakti is Ananga Manjari. So they actually are in charge of the sadhakas. So Ananga Manjari is the younger sister of Radharani. So it's explained in the literatures that when a devotee is developed in his bhakti, then Ananga Manjari goes to Radharani and says, oh Radharani, this is a nice devotee. Please accept this devotee in your service. This is actually in the Shastra. This is in the Shastra, the Ananga Manjari Sambhutika by Ramchandra. So, not Ramchandra, wait a minute. Anyway, Ramachandra Sangamage. Rama. So this is actually the methodology. And you should learn all these things. It's in the Shastra. You can learn from the Guru, of course. He'll direct you. But these are just like we know about the material world. I've got to drive on the left side. I've got to pay taxes. I've got to do this. We should know the methodology of the spiritual world also. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that, because you're going there, you must know who is the mother of Radharani? Kirtida, yes. One of Radharani's name is Kirtida Sundari. So we should know you're all, experienced. We should all know who are the Astashaki, who are the Ashtamanjari, who are the relatives of Radharani. This should be, we can learn all the tattva, yes, great. But we should now, I want to go to the spiritual world. That means I must know about who's there. Who's the father? Who are the Astashaki? What are their services? How do they dress? There's one book, Dayan Chandra's Samputika. He's the disciple of Gopal Guru. So he describes all these different services. I've got a photocopy. I got it 40 years ago. Maybe I can get it printed. But all these, so we should learn Janma Karma Tame Divyam. Right? If we know about Krishna and his activities, what happens? Purna Janmana Vijite. And you see, that's the nectar. That's the rag. You have to understand. We're following Vaidhi. But within that, we want to understand the spiritual world. That is the rag. Rag means attraction. So we learn about Krishna. We learn Krishna Bhavanamrita, Govinda Leelamrita. We learn the intimate aspects. These things, I'm telling you, because you're all devotees, but you can't, if I give a class in front of a university, I can't, I go to say, you're not the body. You're a dimwit. Maybe you're even dimmer than your friend. But the point is, these are all topics that devotees should be learning. Vaidhi is there. It's like the fort. Within the fort, rag. And then rag becomes rati and bhava and prem, you see. You understand? And this study, that is the order of the Guru. That's why Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna, because Lord Chaitanya and through the 6 Goswamis, he revealing the spiritual world. So yes, we want to follow, excellent, all bhakti, all rules and regulations, yes. But within that, we're learning about Krishna. Oh, Kirtadi Sundari, who's Kirtida? I want to go to Varsana, see that place. See, you understand? You learn about the spiritual world within the purity and the protection of Vaidhi. But don't just stick on Vaidhi. Do you understand? Yes. I'm following the rules and regulations, going to Mangalarti. Who is the mother of Radharani? Nobody told me that. You understand? You have to be self-motivated. If you want to learn the guitar, you have to get it together. If you want to become Krishna, if you want to go to the spiritual world, you've got to search it out. Anyway, we're going on too long now. Sorry about if we're taking too much time. So everyone satisfied? Yes. Your questions answered? Yes. All right. Thank you all very much for your kind attention. See you next Friday. Hari Hari. We'll have more revelations next Friday. I'll even bring a few secret books. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Anyway, now you have all the format of Rag Bhakti, right? Within Vaidhi, cultivate the spiritual world. Thank you all very much. May Krishna bless us all.